Dear nobody, have you ever thought how life would be without Jesus? Tomorrow is Good Friday and Easter is just around the block this weekend. For the longest time, me being in the States, I didn't really have any traditions I carry except for going to the church. But then the last few years, I haven't really gone to the church during Easter week. So I was thinking, why not talk about some of the traditions that you and others might have? I found interesting things on the internet actually about these traditions. Some I just found out, and some I experienced. Before we go deeper into the traditions, let's clarify what is the definition of this week. Why is it called Easter? And why is it called Good Friday first and then we have Easter Sunday? If you're Catholic or Christian or religious, you might already know the reasons along with the traditions pretty well. So, Good Friday is known as the day that Jesus have died on the cross, being crucified to save his beloved children, which is all of us really, from sins. And as for the name of why it's Good Friday, well, it's simple actually. Because it is a good day for humanity, offering salvation, forgiveness, and eternal life. And also, in Old Plain English, the term good also means holy. There you have it. Even if it's sad that Jesus had to go through all of the pain just for us to be redeemed, the outcome of his death is the greatest sacrifice ever existed for humanity, ever. As for Easter Sunday, it is known to be the day that Jesus resurrected from the dead. It is generally full of joy and fun activities during the day. It is considered as a holiday, but Easter kind of always fall on Sunday, so technically it's already a built-in holiday. I still don't know why it's called Easter, but some say that the name comes from an Anglo Saxon goddess of spring and fertility, and it was also scheduled at the same period as Jesus' resurrection. But in other countries and languages, most of them use variants of Pascha or Pascha, which come from Aramaic and Hebrew word Pesach, that means Passover. In Indonesia, where I'm from, we call it Pascha instead of Easter. I guess Pascha is more religious and connected to the resurrection itself rather than Easter. It sounds like it is, but feel free to let me know if I'm wrong. Now that we have covered the basics, let's discuss about the traditions. Well, it's also generally known to go to the church both on Good Friday and on Easter Sunday to commemorate Jesus' crucifixion and sacrifice and also the resurrection of it. It's like before and after kind of thing. As far as I remember, when I was in elementary school, we would always have activities of painting eggshells or games like finding the eggs or something related to eggs activities. Don't ask me why does it involve so many eggs, but I guess because of the spring fertility thing, like the goddess thingy from the Easter name, that might be it. Similar to other holidays, families would gather for a large Sunday meal with special breads. There are also Easter bunnies that give out baskets filled with candies and gifts for the kids. People are also usually using their new clothes. Some Christians may also partake in fasting or giving up luxuries for 40 days before Easter Day. Usually, this fasting period is called Lent, and it begins on Ash Wednesday and ends on Easter Sunday. Now, I want to talk more about the traditions based on countries. First off, we have Poland. Easter Monday, people usually splash each other with water in tradition known as Smigus Dingus. I'm pretty sure I say that wrong, and I'm sorry for that. And they also make butter lamps. Second country, Sweden or Finland. Children here dress up as Easter witches and go door to door exchanging drawings for candy. This one is very interesting because it's basically like Halloween, but in this case, you have to exchange your drawing for a candy, and also it's on Easter Day. Third country is Australia. Instead of a bunny, they use an Easter bilby, which is a native marsupial, and it's popular to raise awareness for the endangered species. I just looked it up, and if you don't want to look that up, it just basically looks like a combination of a mouse and a bunny, but actually, it's more like a kangaroo and a bunny, but the body is very small, like tiny. Big ears though. Fourth country is Denmark. People send teasing letters here, or called gay I'm pretty sure I did not say that correctly, but this teasing letters, it's basically filled with riddles and anonymous dots, so the receiver can guess who the sender is. This can be fun and can be really frightening. What if you don't know who is teasing you with those letters and you ended up having like a mysterious letter? That's kind of not good to have a feeling of. The last country that I will be talking is the UK. They are known for eating hot cross buns, literally a bun but with a cross on top, like the X cross, but not, you know what I mean, like the cross hot. I cannot really explain it well. And traditional egg rolling contest. Honestly, the hot cross buns look so good. I low-key want one right now. The egg rolling is to basically roll the hard boiled eggs from a grassy hill, and the goal is to roll the egg the furthest without breaking it. Simple as that. I know I just said in the UK, but I also heard that it's popular in the US, especially in the White House lawn. This I just knew, and is very interesting to me. It looks like they have a really decent system and ways of doing these egg rolling event there. Like there's also a lottery that I saw, and the winners can join the event. Actually sounds so fun. But then again, you have to be lucky enough to be selected in the lottery system to join. Okay, not gonna lie, but after hearing all of those traditions, I low-key want to try some of them myself, and it seems really fun and enjoyable to do with your friends and family. It's been a while since I painted a hard-boiled egg. Last time was in elementary school, I believe, and I was wondering, do you celebrate Good Friday and Easter, or do you not? And if you do, how do you celebrate it usually? Let me know in the comments because I would love to know your experiences with these holidays. Because tomorrow is Good Friday, I could not help but to ask myself, like in the monologue, how would life be without Jesus? This is a very deep and huge question. I might be biased, but I truly don't think our life is gonna be as good as it is right now in the world, even though it's not the greatest. But I think without Jesus, the world would be much darker and more evil in so many ways. I know the current time that we live in is not the best one ever, but hey, we have some decent people still available on this planet. And if you're lucky enough, you will be surrounded by beautiful, lovely people in your life. Isn't that amazing still? The whole dream life that's without any pain or miseries, there's only one place that has that. And that's the Garden of Eden, which what we know as heaven. That's where we will end up eternally if we are close to Jesus and believe in him. I sincerely hope that all of my loved ones can be there. And to my fellow listeners, I truly hope that you will be there too. And I really hope I will be there too. I sometimes forget that our life here on this planet, on this earth, is basically like a test drive for our real life in the internal world. Sometimes I would completely forget about the after death situation, like the eternal life. So when I got frustrated, sometimes, life can be frustrating. I would think about how it's good to die early and not face the world. I know it's kind of depressing, but sometimes it happens, in like a fleeting moment in life. It happens sometimes. And I would be reminded that actually the real game begins after we die. Before we die, it's like we have to work hard, be the best version of ourselves, and get closer to God, which is the essential key to this whole real game. Because when you die, it's basically like waiting for a result of our hard work on earth. A great example would be like when you graduate. Common phenomenon is that we think when we graduate, it's finally over. Everything is over and you're like happy, like, oh my god, school is over, blah blah blah, and you don't need to work as hard as you were at school. But no, the real life starts after you graduate and be out of school. That's the beginning journey, not the end. You know how some people like always say, that's your beginning, it's the start of something, it's not the end. And in some ways that is the best describe our time on earth. We must not forget that the real goal of our life and what we're doing exactly on earth is essentially lead to the question of, will I be able to get invited to live in Garden of Eden or in heaven? If the answer is no, then we might really need to change our habits in life and really think about it, because it is real. The eternal life is real. And sometimes when I really think about it, it makes me so anxious. What if I'm not what if I'm not invited? I don't want to go to hell. And let's hope not. I don't wish that to anyone, really. It just it's nah, I don't want to even talk about it because it's so scary. So many people believe that there's no afterlife. So, in a way, they would waste their time on earth and wishing their life would end faster, or just literally wasting their time and doing nothing. But little that they know is that we will live forever in a place either on heaven or hell. So, finding the egg in life, you get it? Like the egg in life. And it's also Easter, so like egg. Anyway, um, so finding the egg in life or the purpose in life is truly something that is good to be always reminded of once in a while, especially when you're feeling lost and need a sense of stability and need a good slap in your face, like telling, hey, wake up, remember this is like, remember your priority on this earth. It's always good to remind yourself the end goal of life, which is truly the afterlife. The afterlife is the only one that we all need to really focus on, because on earth you can die anytime, but the afterlife you will stay there forever. So it's really like a long game. We really need to think about it in a long term situation, the long game, the real game, actually. We're not only living for a great future on Earth, but we're also investing our forever life in the afterworld. I hope we all get to live in heaven where there's no such thing as pain and sadness. It sounds like a pure dream. As always, thank you so much for staying until this point. I truly appreciate every one of you loyal members. If you're new here, welcome. I'm your host, Sally Yapto, and new episodes will air every Thursdays. Have a great Easter week, and I will talk to you next week. God bless you all. Bye.